Welcome to the Global Impact Virtual Conference hosted by Easter Community Leaders. My name is Marco Huergo. I'm head of secondary at San Isidro College, and I live in the province of Salta, Argentina. This session is titled Fostering Self-Directed Learning, Bridging Timeless Practices and Digital Tools, and will cover my experience over the last couple of years in skill-based learning, particularly autonomy and flexibility, in our teenagers by opening a space in the curriculum during the school day. So basically, in this presentation, I will introduce to you the concepts and why we are engaging with this kind of experience of learning, why SDL as part of the curriculum, the objectives of this presentation, understanding self-directed learning, bridging the timeless practices, connecting traditional with modern and more innovative ways of learning, strategies for integrating SDL, developing students' portfolios, encouraging autonomy and flexibility, key takeaways, closing remarks, and of course, bibliography and contact information. So basically, the original idea for this presentation was sharing some insights about my experience in online learning. It started as extracurricular activities after students finished schools. But afterwards, we realized that self-directed learning was a much better strategy for engaging students and connecting with their interests and connecting with the things they actually wanted to learn. So we shifted a little bit the original idea and ended up with this development of the concept. In this case, this picture is not original, it's AI generated. But it has the Argentinian flag. It's very similar to Salta, where I live. It represents most of my beliefs regarding education in the 21st century. I mean, students need to be leaders of their own learnings. They need to engage and compromise with the things they want to do, the things they want to achieve. And this presentation is basically sharing with you my experience on this. So basically, why we think about self-directed learning is because we can see that in this modern world, the demands are developing a profile of student that is that can adapt to the context, that are willing to connect with the learning, to learn stuff, that the process of acquiring knowledge has, creative thinking as part of these skills that most of jobs are demanding, analytics, teamwork, and research. And I added this cone of experience that is kind of a criticism to schools, because traditional way of understanding education was actually being part of a lecture, attending class, and sitting for exams. And well, we have a lot of evidence that says that well, you of course you need to do some studying, some reading, connecting with the content, but also you can also learn by watching videos, by reading books, by exhibition, by going to the theater, by watching movies. But there's a huge difference when you have hands-on practices, when students can design in a collaborative way a lesson, presentation, a project, or whatever, simulate models, or even perform acting, or actually engaging with a specific, or evaluating a specific, or creating a specific way of presenting the content or the skill they want to share. So basically, the objectives of this presentation is fostering understanding of self-directed learning across different environments, exploring strategies for integrating practices to enhance self-directed learning, providing actionable takeaways for educators, I mean educators, facilitators and teachers and administrators or principals to implement holistic approach to self-directed learning in their teaching practice, and highlighting the importance for all of school administrations in creating the spaces within the curriculum for self-directed learning to develop specific skills and enhance students' autonomy. So what do we understand by SDL, self-directed learning? It's a process in which individuals take the initiative with or without the help of others in diagnosing their learning needs, formulating learning goals, identifying human and material resources for learning, choosing and implementing appropriate learning strategies, and evaluating learning outcomes. One of the most important educators that developed the concept is Michael Knowles. And basically, the key aspect of the implementation of this concept is choice, motivation, developing the evidence of learning, and the connection with the curriculum. And this is actually giving the students the possibility of having a wide amount of options of choosing courses that could happen in the internet, in the cloud, or even by choosing a book or choosing a movie or a TED Talk. It's really open. I will go deep in this aspect. Motivation is essential for the development of the concept. Without motivation, without connecting with the student interests, without the passion of actually learning something, this initiative will go into failure. You really need to connect with this motivational aspect of the learning part. The development of evidence of learning, we need to put this on paper. Of course, it's metaphorical. We need to develop digital spaces for students to reflect on their learnings, and the connection with the curriculum. This is very, very important and is focused on what administrators can do when they open a space in the school day for doing SDL. This means giving students time during the day for doing independent learning. And well, here we have Michael Knowles watching at us, and the book he dedicated for this development of the concept. So bridging timeless practices, learning is learning. The good thing is that in the 21st century, there's this emergence of new tools for learning, such as Khan Academy, Duolingo, Vimeo, HubSpot, Coursera, Udemy, YouTube, Open Learning, Open English, TED Talks, Code Wars, Usation, Dual Diploma. I don't work for any of these, so worry. But these are part of the platforms and applications I share and students shared with me regarding some group discussion for giving students ideas on courses they can actually engage with. And this is also an AI-generated picture, but I have true pictures on this where we can see students reading books under a tree, or learning ukulele, like in this case, or playing chess against someone and learning techniques on the game, or even playing video games. Anything is possible here, any option, if the teacher gives the space and the structure for this, is a possibility to connect with true learning experiences for our students. So I will share some of the strategies I implemented on SDL. These are specifically for teachers. You really need to get to know your students' interest. You need to really get to know them at the beginning. So my suggestion, if you are opening a course that will last 2 semesters, for example, the whole year, take some time, at least a month, to get you to know your students, to connect with them, know their interests. Try to see if you can facilitate them some material and resources for students to acknowledge what could be some of their basic interests. Uh, Plan your classes with a lot of detail, especially at the beginning. The beginning, the starting point of the space of SDL is the key. You need to spend at least, yes, 1 month, maybe more if you really need the space, once a week, of course, to connect with what the students want to learn, to structure a class plan, to teach them how to do the research, how to reflect, developing a portfolio, organizing this planning, the follow-up and the feedback students will be needing through the decision making regarding a course they want to do. And as I said before, motivation and autonomy. In this case, autonomy is a skill that is very difficult to actually teach. Autonomy you have to give. You need to give students the possibility to fail, to make mistakes, even to fool you around when you leave them with a computer and you ask them to actually continue working on whatever course they decided to start. And of course, you need to set ground rules for the learning course selection. You will have to set a number of courses for them to choose. You have to write them down. You have to do the follow-up, but you need to set some basic rules. This could be, for instance, in my case, I'm head and teacher of a bilingual school. This is part of the rules I need to share with them, that the courses must be in English. There might be exceptions if you cannot find the course in English and you really want to do it and it is in Spanish or any other languages. You may, if you want to study a third language, well, of course, the English will no longer be part of the school rule, the class rule, I mean. But you need to set the limits. And of course, you need to develop the evidence using the development of a portfolio. I will speak about this soon. And for administrators, well, you need to include the space in the school curriculum. Taking into account the ages of your students, you can think about a 40-minute space every week, maybe 80-minute space, depends on how you organize your curriculum. But around 1 hour, 1 hour and a half is okay for this space. Having too much of this space might not go so well because students might get a little bit dispersed, and the autonomy is really difficult to manage when you work with teenagers. So my suggestion is between 40 to 80 minutes each week for the SDL space. Of course, you also need to structure and give some ground rules to your teachers. You have to take into account school traditions and culture regarding if the school is a little bit conservative, where is the school standing regarding innovation and use of technology. You really need to understand beforehand those aspects before you move on opening this space. And of course, students' maturity. As older the students become, they will have more tools to engage with autonomy. They will have more tools to organize their own time, to be self-directed learners, and you need to, of course, take that into account. So again, my suggestion is maybe start with tiny little spaces at the beginning of high school or maybe junior school, when they are 12, 13 years old. I think it's the right age to try the space. As soon as you become, you start with the space, the better, because they will get used to have this autonomy, this flexibility in choosing courses, choosing self-directed learning according to their ages. And of course, you need to assess the process. You need to analyze all the analytics you can get from the courses, how many students are dropping out courses, what are the preferences, if they are actually paying for some of those courses, that is also a possibility. It could be part of the rules or not. And of course, evaluating how the facilitator organizes and gives feedback to the students as to give them some support on the selection of the courses. And most important of all, empowering the facilitator, empowering the teachers for student success. So a key aspect of this is developing students' portfolios. They need to document the outcomes, showcasing the skills and the competencies. As I told you before, for metacognition, students need to acquire the skills and the competencies through the content they are analyzing and studying. They need to actually internalize those learnings, and they need to express them. Of course, the portfolio and the evidence the portfolio will provide will be part of the assessment you need to incorporate. So you, of course, you will need some develop self-evaluation as part of the process with rubrics. Set some dates for updating the portfolios they need to develop. And this will bring very good information in where your students are standing. Remember that courses might last for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 months, the whole year. Depending on the ground rules, the basic rules the teacher is setting, you can be flexible on this. My suggestion is the less amount of rules possible. Just maybe set the language you want them to learn the courses. Tell them that you can also think about if they want to have a paid course, or maybe they can also choose, for example, reading under a tree. That could be also a possibility. Anything that compromises the learning, compromises them on and within the learning, I think is a good option. And well, another suggestion I want to give you is maybe at the end of the school year, you can share portfolios of the learning of the portfolios with parents in a celebration day. It could be like a final assessment, and you can communicate the whole thing in social media and make a big fuss of all of this. I think is a good thing, and will engage students, particularly teenagers, because they don't want to make themselves embarrassed. So it is a way to pressure them in some kind of way. But on the other side, it will generate engagement and good reflections if you organize the space in a wise way. I suggest for the development of portfolios, maybe use Padlet, especially with young students. Google Sites, I think, it worked very well for me. You can have different categories depending on the amount of courses the student has done, but it's really complete, and you can organize kind of a web page of their learnings, and I think it's a very, very interesting way to share the insights of their experiences. And I also use very much Flipgrid as a platform for them to, without writing it down, just expressing their feelings, expressing the deep learnings of what they have done during the different courses they attended. So my suggestion is you can play with these 3 applications or platforms to develop the portfolios. But it is basic. This is another picture that is AI generated, but I have 2 pictures on this too, where students need to be empowered. Autonomy, the way of teaching autonomy is actually giving this possibility to students to become lifelong learners in this sense. You need to customize the learning experience. You need to really know each one of your students, know the ways they learn, the things they are actually interested in. You need to have group discussion and personal discussions, and you need to accommodate the class dynamic and didactics to customize this. Of course, you need to spend some time. At least my suggestion is to spend 1 month, maybe more, in the exploration and discovery. They need to learn how to do the research. They need to learn how to analyze different courses, to connect with the truth of what they really like to learn, think out of the box, connect with different spaces of their lives. Could be anything. They can even surprise you with this. And you need to be really supporting in this personalized path. Each student is a universe. You might have students that are really analytical and they might go directly into programming or design or science, but you can have other kind of students that are more artistic, or they would like literature, or they like playing games. Be open-minded. Try to give the possibility for them to share most of the findings when they do some research of the courses. Make them analyze deeply what the courses are about, if they are paid courses, how long they last, the level of of challenging the courses might be. You need to analyze the whole thing. Maybe you can, in an Excel document, make students in a collaborative way share all the courses they've been searching for, and have a group discussion of that. That will burst many ideas for them, and good things will appear by sharing. And you really need to become friends with mistakes and dropouts. You might think that the students in the right course, they are doing fine, but suddenly they want to drop out. Online courses are very easy to drop. The statistics are really low on the amount of students that actually finish the courses. So this is a challenge for teachers and facilitators to support and help students to actually complete these courses. But it's also part of the learning for the teachers and for the students. They can also add in their portfolios the dropouts, the failures, things that they thought they actually liked, but they ended up dropping because they found out that that wasn't interesting enough, or they didn't know much about the content and they realized that that was not for them. So you really need to work with them within the path of this personalized trip regarding this aspect. So as part of the closing part of my presentation, some actions you can actually start doing is, well, of course, as I told you, connect with the interest of your students, know them, know their needs, know what they like, what they want. Organize the follow and the feedback. This has to be really consistent. It has to happen at least once or twice a month. Maybe you can you really need to use virtual classrooms, so they can start uploading the development of the learnings in a platform or within the portfolio. So you can give them some written feedback through the space. Encourage out of the box learning. They will bring new ideas. They will think about crazy courses. Just go with the flow at the beginning. If you realize after a while that it's going nowhere, you have to intervene. You have to show them or not, or maybe wait till the student notice that maybe that course is not for them. Work on research and group discussions. This, in spite this is a very individual way of learning. Group discussion, working together within the same course between students is a good strategy to follow. You should take some time having these kind of discussions, giving space for class reflections, maybe writing it down, and then sharing it within the classroom. I think is a good thing, and also connecting this with the curriculum. Of course, they can use content that are taught in different subjects, and they want to deepen a little bit in that content or different skills. That is also very much cherished and available. Of course, consistency in the evidence of learning, developing portfolios, portfolio. Many students, maybe they do many courses from a same topic, or they can vary very much the topics they want to learn about. You can set the rules, you can think about different ways of structuring the classes, but in my experience, less rules, the better the outcomes. But I think it depends on the school culture, and how much you know your students. And of course, becoming friends with mistakes, with failures, is part of the trip. And for administrators, well, of course, opening the space for self-directed learning, structuring and planning according to the school traditions, as I told you before, and student maturity level. Assess and evaluate effectiveness. You need to bring numbers on. You need to see how many students are dropping out courses, what are the main selections they're making. Give them the possibilities. Maybe if they want to take some time and they want to read books or watch movies or whatever they think they can learn about, you can bring the options to them. You can share, discuss one-on-one with them, so they can use some more ideas. And of course, I think this is a key as an administrator, and as, of course, as a teacher, be an example of self-directed learning. You need to be a learner yourself. This aspect is essential for including this concept inside your curriculum, inside your classes, not only in the space of SDL, but in any subject. I think teachers need to be in a process of learning, whatever it could be dancing, it could be an instrument, it could be singing, it could be while you're reading a book, whatever. But you need to be and setting the example of this. And even more, if you can do this with them, I think is for the best. So basically, some of my key points I want to recap is that self-directed learning empowers students with autonomy, choice, and flexibility in their educational journeys. Strategies for educators and administrators include knowing students' interests, fostering autonomy, and evaluating outcomes. Students' portfolios serve as dynamic showcases of learning outcomes and reflections, fostering engagement and communication. And it allows students to explore passions, pivot in learning path, engage with meaningful learning. It gives a lot of options for them to do this amazing experience that is actually engaging with the self-directed learning, the skill-based space we are opening here. So remember, self-directed learning is not just a method, it is a mindset that cultivates curiosity, resilience, and lifelong learning skills. Empowered students become active learners, problem solvers, and creators of their own knowledge. Fostering self-directed learning is not about replacing traditional method, but enhancing them with personal student-centered approaches. There has to be a connection with traditional methods. Reading under a tree, it is a very traditional method, but very effective, really relaxing. It has very good outcomes. You can learn a lot of it if you give them the time, you give them the space. If the space is nice, and you give them the possibility and the autonomy and the trust for doing this kind of learning. Of course, the technology is essential for the evidence of whatever learning they are making. And of course, student success and engagement are maximized when education embraces diversity, choice, meaningful connections to real world experience. So, well, please, if you want to check on the bibliography, here you have most of the books I've been checking for this presentation. And this is my contact information. If you have your cell phones with you, you can give me a quick feedback. And even more, I would love your contact information too, in case you want to do any collaboration with my school. The province of Salta is an amazing, amazing, amazing place to visit. And of course, if you have the chance to come, I will be really, really happy to receive you at my school. And of course, I will give you a free tour around. So thank you very much for connecting with me, for listening. This session, as part of the Global Impact Virtual Conference hosted by EastTech community leaders, please watch other sessions, including those pre-recorded and those offered live. You can join in the conversation throughout the conference on EastTech Connect and on social media using EastTech Global and EastTech Community. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being there. I hope this presentation went well. Thank you very much.